Hey guys, it's your girl Starr Kraziness, and I'm coming to you with another review on Little Women ATL. This is part 1 of their reunion. I know I'm late, but hey, work with me. How y'all like my little long hair wig? It's long now, y'all. It's long. Well, it's not really long. It's a little short, but tell me what y'all think about it. I don't know if I'm really feeling it, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. So basically how they started off, they're going over the clips that were like one of the major talked about clips throughout the season. They all looking at it, and then the host they got, I really wasn't feeling him. I'm like, why we couldn't get a lady host? You know, he was asking stupid questions like, how did you feel about that? Nigga, didn't you just see how I felt about it in the clip? Like, what? The dumbest question. Like, no, he don't need to host no reunion, nothing, okay? But yeah, he went to Juicy. She was like, it just amazes me how some people can be so disrespectful. And he like, who you talking about? Somebody on the couch? And she was like, Then he went to Minnie, and Minnie like, yes. What's your take on it? How you felt? Well, let me stop. She was talking about, she just realized that there's some fake people within this group. And of course she was talking to Juicy and probably mine it somewhat. She was like, Juicy was like, Jesus, take the wheel. Are you kidding me? Really? Fake? And you the one who going around here lying about you had a baby and you was with Pastor Troy? I don't think so. I was like, oh, we're already getting off on the wrong foot. And of course, they going back and forth for a minute. Shut up, man. Stuff like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, just get off that. So then we get to Andrea and Chris. They play their clips they had together and stuff like that. He comes out like he Mr. Oh, everything good. No, nigga, everything ain't good. You still need to grow up because you're still acting like a little boy. I mean, we literally spent about 20 minutes of this show talking about how he needs to realize how he's making choices in his life that's affecting his family, and he needs to grow up. And then he's just start going into this thing about somebody run. I guess it was a daddy who ran up on him and said he'll kill him and shoot. I was confused because he just came left field out. Like, he looked at Andre and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna tell him anyway, though this is the real deal of how I feel about this. I'm like, nigga, have you got a job yet? Are you riding in your own whip? But she took him back once again, talking about some, yeah, we good, okay, whatever. So they were showing some pregnancy clips. Of course, how he wasn't there the day of the pregnancy. She done went into labor. He not there. Can you tell him to hold on? You cannot tell your baby that's inside your baby to say, hold on, Aubrey, wait till daddy get. No, she wants to get out when and see what's going on out here in the world. You go, damn, he's so dumb. I can't take it. So his thing, he was like, he just tired of people coming down on him, saying he ain't this, he ain't that. They don't know the situation that's going on, and this is why me and Andrea have been fighting, because everybody's trying to put their 2 cents in the change and thing, and I'm just tired of it. Like, this is our life, not theirs. If you would do right and be a man, because right now you're acting like a little ass boy, then maybe somebody wouldn't have to come check you. And I was so glad. And Emily haven't even been on the show like that. She just really talking about her baby JJ. She checked him. She was like, look, cut all that noise. Aubrey, let's give an example. If she was going through the same thing her mother was going through, you think Andre, which is her brother, is going to sit up there and take that? No, you're going to be like, hey, check that. You need to go watch your sister, make sure everything is good before I have to get up in there. The baby, what is it? Not the baby. The daddy, that's like all hell break loose. You messing with my daughter, oh, it's about to be something on that, So, and she was like, well, that's how Amanda is to Andrea. Her family saying, look, you two is all y'all got, especially when y'all moved from Texas. So y'all gotta watch out over each other. that's what siblings supposed to do. And you tripping because she all up in y'all space. No, she's trying to make sure her sister good, as well as her sister kids are good, because you ain't doing a damn thing but sitting on your ass talking about why is this ain't done. Then you had a nerve to say if she go out, she don't need to stay out late because she needs to come take care of the kids. Like when she was like, well, if I go to Minnie thing, are you gonna be able to handle it? No, that's gonna be ringing up. What kind of man is that? You, the only thing I liked about the host, he said, you done laid down with this woman, had these babies, you need to take care of them. And these new generation breed dudes, that's what I call them. They just damn, get it together. But he was just in his feelings all the time he was on the show. Just in his feelings. Y'all don't know what I'm going through. I gotta go through with this with Andrea. Then y'all bringing y'all opinions in. Then I got the family wanting to say it just ain't gonna be the same. It's just not gonna be the same. You know, honestly, I don't really care no more. Then in part of the little interview they was doing, he done got up talking about some, I can't take it no more. Freak it. Y'all just doing too much for me. So every time stuff get hard, you run away. Really? And you call yourself? No. I can't take it. Shut it down. If you want to be like that, go ahead and do your thing, because I can't. So then they bring in Amanda boyfriend, and I applaud him because he was like, look, I just want to be telling him, you need to get your ish together, man, because not only when you freak up, I have to deal with it. Andrea come over here with me and Amanda while we doing our little thing, and I got to be the man of the relationship, and that's not even my baby. But he gonna step up and do the right thing. So I applaud you for that. I think his name's Jordan. So he like, look, if you ain't gonna be with her, if you ain't gonna treat her right, leave her alone. Let her do her thing. Let her be able to get over you. Because every time you leave, you come back. You leave, you come back. It's still gonna be status quo. She's still gonna have her sister there, unless they just really break ties, find out they not, you know, as close as they used to be, because this no good dude just keep coming back, acting stupid, then end up leaving. Now she crying, boo and hooing. She said she wasn't gonna take him back, but now, oh, we good. You know, basically people just need to stay out of our business type thing. I can't take it. And then it was a scene where, you know, the host was like, tell him what you want. Tell him what you want from him, so he can be able, you know, to hear it and work on it. She couldn't even tell him. Well, she was telling him, but she was talking to the camera. She was talking over here. She couldn't look him face to face and be like, this is what I want you to do, babe. I want you to do this, this, and this. And then when she did kind of, you know, say, you know, I want you to do this, she still then going this way. Like, y'all communication level is off. That's the most important thing in a relationship, is communication. If you don't got that, you really don't have a damn thing. Okay? But we're gonna get off that because I just can't take it. So then we got Minnie. They bring up her anger issues. We all know she went to anger management. The host was like, are you still doing anger management classes? Hell no. You know, I think that was enough for me that I did. She probably only just went to one. That was because they had to put that on the show. So she ain't fooling nobody. She ain't fooling nobody. She was just like, you know, no, she's not at the point where she can turn the other cheek if somebody's saying something slick. And I know how that could be. I know how that could be. But she was like, no, she ain't at that. But she is kind of calm, cool, collected. But let somebody get out a line, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a problem. Let's just put it there. You know, it's gonna be a problem. So then we come to Emily. Of course, she didn't want to talk about it, but they touched on it. And basically, he was just asking, you know, how have you been with losing JJ? And she was like, it's hard. You know, when it first happened, 3 weeks, she didn't want to get out of bed. Understandable. That is a very hard situation to go through. And, you know, she was saying how people were asking, why did you even put this on TV for people, you know, to say what they want to say about it. And she was like, look, you know, it's a part of my life. It's a part of me. And at the time, how was I supposed to know he was going to pass away? You know, he was just having some complications. And then he was fighting like hell. He was. He a little soldier. He a little soldier. But he just couldn't. They just couldn't do anything. She was like, "Well, if my situation can help somebody else, especially if they're going through the same thing, and I did my job, hey, it's part of my life." And I'm like, I applaud you for that, girl, because she was already tearing up. Then once I seen her, everybody was tearing up. I mean, I kind of teared up a little bit because that is a sensitive subject. I was like, and then they had asked, I think the host had asked Minnie about it or something like that. And what's her name? Minnie had said something slick. Yeah, it'd be a tough situation if you really had a miscarriage. I was like, oh my gosh, really? Did we have to hit them with the low blows? And I'm like, didn't y'all just make up? Now y'all back at each other's throats. I'm not getting it. But this season was pre-recorded. All this stuff was pre-recorded, and they just now watching it. So I guess tensions are boiling up again. Okay. So then we got basically the whole end of the reunion part one of the reunion was talking about how Minnie was lying about her miscarriage and how she's been a liar since the day she said she was going with Pastor Troy. I was like, okay. So they showed the little clips that was going on throughout the season, and the host was like, so what happened? What's up? Were you really pregnant? And she was like, yes, I was pregnant. And she was like, I was 15 weeks within the pregnancy. And I'm like, really now? I don't know if she even disclosed that with us when she was talking about it. But she said she was 15 weeks pregnant. He was like, did the doctor confirm that? And she was like, yeah. And all of a sudden, here go Minnie. I need to see the paperwork. Where the paperwork at? And she was like telling her, just shut the heck up. Worry about you and Moreland. I'll be over here. And I was just like, really, Minnie? Like, sometimes y'all just be on some petty ish. Like, that didn't even have to really paperwork. And even the host was like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Did you just say you wanted to see some paperwork? Didn't this girl just tell you she went through a miscarriage? You talking about some paperwork? She was like, yes, because I don't believe it. I'm like, okay, so we still on that. Once again, I really thought y'all done made up, but y'all didn't. So, and this was another stupid thing this host said. How did Pastor Troy react? You clearly saw him say what he said. But she went and said, I didn't know he was going to act like that. I thought he was about to say deuces, peace, kick her to the curb type thing. And she was like, as you saw, he was different, He was like, we can try again. And then all of a sudden, Minnie and Juicy, they start laughing, just bust out laughing. And I was like, come on now. Like, really? That was very petty to me. Because it wasn't even that serious. So, then what happened? Oh, the host had asked Andrea, he asked Amanda. He was like, do you really think Minnie was pregnant? And she was like, yeah, I'm not really going to question that. She my friend. He was asking Andrea, do you really think Minnie was pregnant? And she was like, well, at first, I wasn't really believing it. But like my sister said, if she was pregnant, she was pregnant. At the end of the day, that's her coochie. It is what it is. I was like, all right then. So you had some doubt yourself. So, I mean, she really only had Amanda as her friend on this show, to be honest. And so he was talking about, okay, the host, he was like, all right, so, are you good now? Is everything good? She was like, yeah, all I gotta do is lose a couple of pounds and this and that. And once again, here go money. a few couple of pounds, girl. Then she jumped and said, I know you ain't talking with Shamu right next to you. I was like, wait a minute. You did know Minnie made that slick comment, not Juicy. Like, why are you getting on her? I kind of agreed with Minnie when she was like, look, the beef is with me. I said what I said. Why are you jumping to Juicy? She didn't even say anything at this point in time. She done said a lot of slick, but she wasn't even saying nothing. It was Minnie. I'm like, why are you? I don't know. And then Emily had got into it. I was like, oh my gosh. So Emily was like, so what was your HCG levels? I was like, what the hell? And my what's her name? Minnie was like, Emily, I'm gonna need you to shut up because you haven't even been here to be asking me no questions. She was like, I'm just asking you, what was your HCG levels? You know, because when I had my miscarriage, they asked me those kind of things, and I knew those kind of things, or whatever. And she was like, do you know that? And she, Minnie was like, well, do you know that? And she was like, yes, I know that. Okay. I was at 5, then I was at 50, and then it went back down. So what's good? She was like, well, okay, that's you. You know, I was like, dang, Minnie, they kind of trying to catch you in that lie again, girl. You better swing. You better say something other than, Emily, you weren't here to say all this stuff. She's talking about you ain't my doctor, you ain't this. Who cares, girl? She was just asking you a question. But it is what it is. So then they showed this never before scene. I'm like, that's the scene they should have put in there. But of course, Juicy wanted to be a detective. She went to go meet up with Pastor Troy, and she was like, look, I'm gonna kick it to you like this. Was you and Minnie freaking, and was she really pregnant? He was like, hey, didn't she tell you she was pregnant? Hell, that's what she told me, so I roll with it. You know, she was like, that's not what I asked you. Was she really pregnant? Well, I have been to the Minnie bar a couple of times or two. I'm like, so you still really didn't answer the question, because just because you done slept with a girl don't mean that the sperm got to the egg, you know. Y'all could have been using condoms or something, you know. It was on good and tight. And she was like, oh, okay, whatever. You really still not telling me, but whatever. He was like, look, I love y'all both. I want to go back to how it was. Y'all was cool and stuff like that. Let's just all get back together. Let's be friends. I don't like all this back and forth, and then you put me in the middle of it. I don't like it. She's like, okay, fine. It is what it is. So then got to the point where the host had asked, how did you feel about, what's her name, Juicy, going behind your back and asking Pastor Troy after you just told her you had a miscarriage and you really was pregnant. She was like, just shows how fake she is and this and that, and she wasn't being considerate and stuff like that. And just like, look at here. I don't need your permission to go ask some questions, okay? You are not the boss to me, not my mama, not my daddy. Your dog show ain't the Lord. So, excuse me. And so they go back and forth. Then they bring Mama back out. I was like, oh my gosh, really? They bring her out. And they talk about the whole hot wing incident, how she got some hot wings thrown on her. Of course, Minnie was getting a little more rowdier, because she was rowdy, but she was like putting a little extra rowdy on her little bark since her mama came in talking about some, hey, Mama Duke's in the building. No, don't be trying to show out now, okay? But the host was like, you know, how did you feel about throwing wings on Juicy? Like, you really didn't have to go to that. And she was like, you know, I was lost. She really just hit a nerve. She hit a nerve because she didn't have to do what she did. And I really thought with shade that she gonna throw this baby shower, then go off on my baby girl like that. No. I have always protected my baby girl, and I will always still protect my baby girl. I will get in front of somebody. What's up? I was like, all right then, Mama. All right, we know you from Chattanooga. You drag somebody and all this and that. And he was like, well, it sounds like you know, you're sorry about what you did. And she was like, I ain't sorry. She deserved it. Because she's sneaky, and I don't like her. She was like, you have motives. And they were like, what motive did she have? And then I was definitely not expecting this to come out her mouth. She was like, I almost had to, go do some stalking charges because you wanted my daughter. What? Because first it was like you wanted to be like my daughter. Now it's you wanted my daughter. And the host was like, hold up. Wanted as romantically? She was like, yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't get that. No, I didn't get that. Like, what's going on with you and your mama thinking? Like, no, I didn't get that. I definitely didn't get that. But that was the end of part 1 of the reunion of Little Women ATL. I have part 2 up later on tonight, and I'll probably do Little Women LA. So see you on the next review. Peace.